It's the last professional MasterChef quarter-final. These 6 talented chefs came out top in their heats. Now, they will face 2 further challenges that will put their skills on the line.
It's been one of the toughest competitions. Just need to keep my head down and focus.
I will keep on pushing as much as I can. Got a lot of passion and I'll just make that shine in my food.
Now I've had the taste for it, I want it even more. Game on. The other chefs need to be scared.
First, they'll have to devise a dish from a specified ingredient.
You've used a lot of different techniques here, and I like that.
Those who make it through will then put their own dishes up for scrutiny from 3 of the country's most daunting food critics.
This is extraordinary.
Only the best will earn a place in the knockouts.
I want to see them enjoy it, be creative, and really show off who they are.
Pressure in here today is going to be immense. Chefs, welcome to your quarter-final. This is an invention test. This is your opportunity to cook a plate of food that's going to get you through to cook for our critics.
Underneath the box in front of you is your key ingredient. And it's going to take some real flair and knowledge to bring the best out of this ingredient. Please reveal your ingredient. Squash is an ingredient you should all be familiar with. Behind us is a variety that you can use in your dish. Sweet or savory, it is completely up to you. But what it's got to be is outstanding.
The chefs can choose additional ingredients from the larder, which include meat, fish, vegetables, rice, eggs, and a selection of herbs and spices.
Chefs, come up and choose your ingredients.
Squash, limitless what you can do with it. You can bake it, grill it, puree it. They've just got to be imaginative, creative, and really bring us something special.
Is it the nutty flavour? Is it about the texture? Is it about a different combination of ingredients that they put with the squash?
Bit nervous, obviously not knowing what it's going to be. Had 1,000 ideas in my head today, and this wasn't one. I need to bring my game, definitely.
It is out of my comfort zone. I like to plan and everything else, so we'll see.
I'm going to do vegetarian today. I'm not going to go near meat. I'm just going to do it all about the squash. Try and see if I can do something good.
Chefs, this plate of food is going to have to be outstanding if you're going to cook for our critics. At the end of this, 2 of you are going to leave the competition.
You now have 70 minutes. Off you go.
Junior sous chef Adam stood out in his heat with his signature lobster and smoked salmon raviolo.
Feedback I got on the signature dish was a massive confidence boost. I tend to be the smiler in the kitchen, so hopefully I'm going to carry that through into the next round as well.
How you doing, Adam?
OK. A little bit stressed, but getting there.
What are you doing?
I'm doing a butternut squash arancini with a butternut squash and sage puree, toasted pumpkin seeds, and a little Parmesan crisp. I thought I'd try and champion the squash and hopefully bring out as much flavour in it.
Your last dish was fantastic. If it tastes as good as that, well, we'll be very happy.
I hope so.
It is very easy to mess up an arancini. If that risotto rice inside is not cooked properly, this dish will completely fail.
Adam is without doubt focusing on the squash. So if all these ingredients come together and they work and they taste beautiful, then he's on to a winner.
Head chef Steve showcased modern cooking techniques with a near-perfect red mullet dish.
Puts you a little bit on the back foot with doing veg test because you've thrown into it, you've got a short period of time to plan. You have to be super creative to do this sort of challenge. You have to think outside the box.
So, what are you doing, Steve?
I'm going to do this pumpkin panna cotta.
Ooh.
Savoury. Set it in a bowl with like a barley risotto, pumpkin seeds, pumpkin seed oil, salt-cured egg yolk, and some roasted pumpkin.
Wow, didn't see that coming.
Slightly out of the box.
Why the panna cotta?
I just think it's a different way of showcasing the flavour of the squash. I've done the technique before, and I did a mushroom panna cotta. Worked quite well, but hopefully the squash will work just as well.
A savoury panna cotta is all about flavour, the wobble of the panna cotta, and making sure that it tastes great. But when it's served cold, it's going to be very difficult to get the flavour of the squash to come out. Anything that's served cold doesn't really have the intensity of warm food, so I'm intrigued by this dish.
Chefs, you've had 15 minutes.
London-based sous chef Louise recovered from a nervous start by delivering a classic cod dish to earn a place in the quarter-final.
Performance so far, I think they kind of looked at me and say, wow, like, she's come back and she didn't let it get to her. This round's a lot better for me. I'm buzzing to be back, and I can't wait.
How did you find the squash?
Do you know what? It's a really good ingredient, because I'm just going to focus on squash. It is going to be squash mania. So I'm going to do a vegetarian squash ravioli. Quail's eggs go inside the ravioli. I'm going to serve it with some fresh beans. I've pickled some of my own ginger. I kind of want that just going through, obviously, my vegetables. So I've done roasted butternut squash. Everything's going to be butternut.
So the quail egg is going to sit inside the ravioli. You're going to put it in raw?
Yeah.
So you're going to make a puree, make a dent, and then put the raw egg on top.
I want it to be runny when you cut through it. I've done pasta quite a few times, so I'm quite confident on it.
Louise is maxing out on butternut squash. She's going to make a raviolo with some butternut puree inside. She's going to put a quail's egg in it and cook it. We hope that when we cut through the raviolo, that quail's egg is going to just pour through it.
I can imagine that this dish is about the ravioli being the centre of the plate and all the beautiful little garnishes sitting around the outside.
"21-year-old junior sous chef Monty is the youngest chef left in the competition.
I could probably improve on my calmness. I need to go in there and just look at everything before I just charge in like a bull in a china shop. But that's just my age, probably.
How are we doing, Monty?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, really excited.
You've worked with squash before?
A little bit, yeah. Just going to bring lots of energy, lots of flavours that hopefully work with the squash, and you're really going to enjoy.
So what are you doing with it?
So I'm going to make a squash, cook it in cumin butter, lemon sole, dal puree, coriander and coriander oil as well.
Is there another element of squash going in there other than the dice?
Maybe I'll put it through with the dal, maybe make a curried dal puree with the squash.
Your dish is still developing.
OK.
The butternut squash needs to get them beautifully cooked, soft, and just oozing flavour of cumin butter running through it. Coriander dal puree, love the sound of that. The lemon sole cooked off the bone is going to be a matter of seconds in the pan. It will not take long at all.
And I hope he brings one more element from the squash, because this should be the key thing about his dish.
Trained in Mumbai, executive development chef Jay impressed with his European-Asian fusion flavours.
I'm a kind of a chef who likes to plan. Unfortunately, this is going to be out of the comfort zone for me. I'm hoping I've got enough experience behind me to think on the feet, and there's only one way to find out.
Jay, what are you doing with the squash?
I'm doing a squash and cheese beignet, Thai-spiced squash puree with ginger in it. Protein today is sunset salmon, I'm going to do a cafe lime beurre blanc with it.
Jay, you're a brand development chef. You must come up with a lot of new dishes.
As part of the role, yes, it is, but they're all progressive, and you do get time to revisit them, try to test them.
This should be a breeze for you.
I'm not too sure about the breeze, but it should work, shouldn't it?
Really loving the sound of Jay's dish. Thai spice squash, so a few little flavours of Thailand in there, a touch of ginger, and of course that beautiful pan-fried salmon.
Jay has been quite inventive here, using the squash to make a beignet. I love that idea. I hope they're nice and light and not too dense in the middle. Chefs, you have just 15 minutes left.
22-year-old chef de partie, Exose, bounced back from a poor first round by wowing the judges with his pastry skills.
I struggle when I'm just put on the spot. Just create something that I would like to eat, and hopefully the judges will enjoy it as well.
What are you doing?
So I'm doing a guinea fowl with the squash. I'm doing a squash and chili puree. And then I'm doing a squash gnocchi.
Squash gnocchi. OK, I like the sound of the gnocchi.
That's the main part of the squash that I'm trying to elevate.
Can you see yourself cooking for the critics?
I really want to cook for the critics, so that's why I'm trying to impress you today with this dish.
I like that he's using the butternut squash in a few different ways.
Exose is making some butternut squash gnocchi. That's a great addition to this dish. It shows a lot of skill, and if the flavour works, he's onto a winner. You must be very careful when you're pan-frying the guinea fowl that you don't scorch the outsides. It is one bird that does dry out very quickly. Chefs, you've got 2 minutes left. Your final 2 minutes.
Running out of time here. Just got to see what I can play off.
Stop cooking. Time's up.
I didn't think that was going to happen.
First up is Adam. He has made butternut and sage arancini balls with a butternut and sage puree, fried pumpkin seeds, pumpkin oil, crispy sage leaves, fennel tops, and parmesan crisps.
Adam, the arancini for me, you've got the butternut squash diced through it, but I would have preferred if you had made a puree, put that through your risotto to really give it a strong flavour of the butternut running through this dish. I like how the coating is crisp on it and the risotto hasn't dried out.
The little parmesan crisps that sat on top of the arancini, they brought a really nice little saltiness to the dish as well. You've got some spice running through the puree that sits underneath as well. But there's not enough of the puree to eat all three of the arancinis.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was going to be better than that. I thought the dish was OK. Always showed different textures and flavours, and some of the stuff I achieved on that.
Steve's dish is an onion squash, ginger and chili panna cotta, topped with a parsley barley risotto, salt-cured egg yolk, raw and roasted pumpkin, and roasted pumpkin seeds.
The panna cotta has a beautiful flavour of the butternut, and I like the warmth of the ginger and the chilli there. The roasted squash as well, I really like, as well as the pickle one. The risotto, I think you could just set that aside because it doesn't need it. But I really like what you were thinking to do with this dish.
Do like the little bits of roasted squash that you've got on the dish, that they taste delicious. The egg yolk, it doesn't really add anything to the dish apart from just a nice colour. But you've used a lot of different techniques here and a huge amount of skill, and I like that.
Yeah, I think I took a risk, but some lovely comments. All in all, I think it's positive. it might have faded off.
That's well done, darling. I liked it.
Monty has served a pan-fried lemon sole fillet with a butternut squash and dal puree, cumin and coriander spiced butternut cubes, deep-fried squash seeds, curried batter, and a cumin beurre blanc split with a coriander oil.
I love how the fish is being cooked. It's lovely and moist, it hasn't dried out. I really like the butternut squash dal puree underneath. That is very flavoursome with the diced butternut squash. I even like the little batter bits with a bit of curry powder on top. I do like where this dish is going, Monty.
The diced squash is great. The butter sauce with the coriander running through it, very, very well made. And that sauce complementing the dal puree, delicious.
I feel all right. It was quite good feedback. Just put everything into that dish, and I've done that to the best that I can.
Louise has made a butternut squash and quail's egg raviolo with pan-seared squash ribbons, spinach, roasted squash, shiitake mushrooms, pickled ginger, and a parsley and ginger sauce.
You got the quail's egg in the raviolo. It was quite hard to find, and what bit there is completely overcooked anyway.
Flavours of your dish, definitely get the butternut squash inside the raviolo. The bit underneath, the ginger, which has been pickled, which gives you, a sudden shock, it's quite strong. I like the parsley sauce. I love the addition of the spinach. Remember to wash the spinach. It's a bit gritty. I just find there's so much in this bowl.
I didn't taste any ginger. You don't really need the shiitake mushrooms. There's no place for them on the dish. For me, I think you should have focused more in one or two areas rather than trying to be clever and trying to do so much.
I'm really gutted what they said. The ravioli, obviously, putting the quail's egg was the biggest risk for me. Didn't pay off. But it is what it is now.
Jay's dish is pan-seared salmon fillet with a squash, orange and ginger puree, squash beignet, spinach, peas, and a kaffir lime and dill beurre blanc sauce.
The salmon for me is overcooked. I love the colour of the butternut squash puree, but the butternut for me is gone. There's just too much orange through it. I really like the little beignets. They haven't dried out at all, but I want more of an oomph of squash flavour.
The spinach underneath is nice. The beurre blanc has got a lovely texture to it, and the kaffir lime has brought a lovely acidity to it as well. The sauce is great, but it's nothing to do with squash. I'm focusing on the squash. I'm not getting what I was looking for.
Feeling a little bit okay. It was a mystery box, so it was what it was.
There was some good stuff.
It's half there and half not, so I don't know.
Finally, it's Exose. He has made roasted guinea fowl breast with butternut squash gnocchi, diced butternut squash, cooked in a rosemary emulsion, a squash, chili and lime puree, toasted pumpkin seeds, and a guinea fowl sauce.
I like the flavours of the gnocchi. The puree is lovely and smooth, yet a bit sharp on the lime. You have got the flavours of the butternut squash in the cube. The guinea fowl sauce has got a lovely flavour through it.
Good puree, good dice, great use of the squash. The guinea fowl is overcooked, though. But overall, it's not a bad dish.
Yeah, I feel okay. I'm happy with what I produced. It could have gone worse. It could have gone better.
Well, that was a surprising round.
It is quite interesting how the simplest of ingredients really do challenge our chefs. I really enjoyed the cooking of Monty's fish. It could have been overcooked. It was just about right.
I liked the butternut squash puree, a bit of spice running through it, and it worked very well with the diced butternut squash. I thought his flavours worked well. Exposé gave us 3 different types of squash. A puree, we had the squash cubes, as well as the gnocchi, which I'm really glad he actually made. I really enjoyed the gnocchi.
The squash was used nicely, and I thought today he did a good job.
2 chefs in, we're doing OK.
Yep.
So we have 2 more places to give, 4 more chefs to discuss. Steve, I find, is the one chef who really pushed himself to elevate the squash.
What we did have on the plate was the beautiful roasted squash, and I did like the flavour of the panna cotta. There were just things on the dish that you didn't need.
The yolk wasn't necessary, and I was not a fan of that barley risotto edition.
Jay had some fabulous ingredients, and the combinations could have worked. Interesting that Jay made the beignets. He just didn't put enough of the squash puree into the beignet mix, but they were beautifully cooked.
And the puree, though beautiful, smooth, it was just overpowered by the flavour of the orange.
And I just thought that maybe the squash would have really come to the party, but it didn't.
Adam's arancini were beautiful and golden, and you got the crispiness just right. The arancini, for me, I thought it could have had more flavours of the butternut.
Loved the parmesan and the sage, and I did love that lovely heat coming through that puree that was sitting underneath the arancini. It just needed more of that puree.
Louise had the squash raviolo. Unfortunately, the quail's egg had overcooked. There are a lot of different squash elements in Louise's dish.
But I don't think she elevated the dish to the high standard it could have gone. There was just a little bit too much going on for me.
It'd be a massive, massive bonus if I did get through, because I'm not going to give up, and I would keep on showing them what I can do.
I hope I've done enough to stay in the competition. I would definitely love to cook again for the judges, for the critics.
I'd be very disappointed if I went home. Don't want to think about it. I need this. It's got to happen.
I thought, you know, I'd done enough. Really wanted to cook for the critics and show a couple of dishes I've put together.
That was a really interesting day today, and without doubt, a massive challenge for you guys with the humbled squash.
It was a difficult decision. Only 4 of you are going through to cook for the critics. The first chef that is leaving us is Jay.
Thank you.
The second chef leaving us is Louise.
Thank you. Bit gutted, really gutted. But if I want to keep progressing, I want to keep putting my passion into everything and just making everyone proud.
I am a bit sad my time is over, but I've learned something about myself, that's to believe in a little bit more. So it was great to be here.
Congratulations, chefs. You get to cook for the critics. Welcome back to our kitchen. You will be cooking for some of the toughest critics in this country. Jimi Famurewa, Jay Rayner, and Tracey MacLeod. Stand out now, and they will remember you in the future.
At the end of this, one of you is going to be leaving the competition, and the remaining 3 will be part of our final 12. 2 courses, 8 plates of food, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Let's go.
I've put in every waking hour that I can into these dishes, and I really want to nail it, especially cooking for these critics. It's a big deal. It's a big deal in my career as well.
Monty, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, yeah.
Happy to be here?
Really happy to be here. Nervous as hell, got a lot to do.
What are you doing?
I am doing turbot main course with mussels, champagne sauce, barley, and these baby leeks. And then I'm doing a chocolate and orange dessert with a brown butter sponge.
Ooh. Where did you get the inspiration for your dishes?
Fish, mussels, champagne sauce. Just choosing classical flavours and stuff that I know I can get done in the time. Chocolate and orange is what you have at Christmas, and it really reminds me of my childhood, and I just love the flavours together.
Reminds you of your childhood? You still are a child.
Yeah, exactly.
21.
I don't feel like a child right now.
So your pudding is inspired by the chocolate orange that you have at Christmas?
Yeah, correct.
Love it.
Pan-fried turbot, it's a beautiful, very expensive fish. He's got to get that turbot beautifully golden and just cooked nicely. We don't want undercooked barley, that could ruin his dish.
Monty's dessert has been inspired by that chocolate orange experience he used to have at Christmas. And I really think that's a fantastic way of looking at food. Flavours that you remember growing up, inspiring you to come up with a dessert that you can serve right here to our critics on MasterChef. Good on him.
So what's your menu?
For the main, I've got a lamb rump, very classical, potato galette with wild garlic, preserved lemon and anchovy salsa verde sort of style sauce, asparagus and girolles. Then for dessert, I have stracciatella cheese ice cream.
The cheese is a bit like a mozzarella?
Yeah, with honeycomb, strawberries macerated in balsamic vinegar with chocolate mousse.
Is there anything that concerns you about these two dishes?
Just getting the ice cream set in time, getting the honeycomb right, not burning it, and the mousse set.
So basically, you're worried about your whole dessert. Like the sound of Steve's menu? Loving preserved lemon and anchovies, things that I personally love together with lamb, but he's got to get that balance to make sure they're not overtaking this dish.
The dessert is interesting. Of course, it's going to worry him slightly. Base of it is strawberries, but we've got a chocolate mousse, honeycomb, and a stracciatella ice cream. It's an ice cream that's got, well, stracciatella cheese running through it. It's light in flavour, and it does add a twist to this dish.
The ice cream, I've tried it before. It's a nice savoury element, and there's lots of sweet elements in this, so it should balance quite nicely. But it could divide the critics. Hopefully not.
Cooking for the critics, definitely scary. Just got to make sure nothing goes wrong or I have to redo anything, because that's going to set me back, and it's definitely the biggest worry.
How you doing, Adam?
Yeah, very nervous. Lot to get done in this time frame.
What are you doing?
Doing cod with a miso glaze, lovage emulsion, pickled cucumber, and smoked mussels. And then my main course is lamb, wrapped in the cool fat, with a chicken truffle, sweetbread mousse on top of that, barbecue baby gem, and a lamb fat hasselback, and a lamb sauce.
A lot of work.
Yes.
Sounds good, though.
I hope it's going to be, yeah. There's a lot to get done.
I want the cod just flaking and this miso glaze just brushed over the top of it. Miso can be very salty, so it's got to be not too much that is going to overpower the beautiful cod.
Adam's second course is almost a classic. You need to be very careful when you've got a mousse on top of a lamb chop that you do not overheat it, because the mousse will split. You can't afford for the crepinette to burst. He needs to give it some TLC. That's going to work.
When I cook for my family at home, I'm doing 2 courses. It normally takes me like 6 hours. Now I have to cram it down into 1 hour. This is the hardest challenge by far, and I really want to do well on it.
What are you cooking?
I'm cooking a spiced duck breast today, served with sweet potato 3 ways. I've got the fondant, I've got crisp, and I've got puree. And also we've got spinach and chimichurri.
Oh.
I'm following it with cherries. The duck and cherries go well, so that's why I'm doing a cherry dessert. So I'm gonna do a cherry souffle.
Wow.
With a pistachio crumble. It has a sheep's milk yogurt sorbet and a sour cherry sauce.
Wow.
A souffle?
A souffle. I'm whisking it.
You're a brave boy.
Who's supporting you through this?
My work's supporting me a lot. I've not told family yet still. I'm not ready to tell them yet. Because they'll just be on me and on me and on me. I need the space, I need to concentrate, I need to smash it.
There'll be too much pressure coming.
There'll be too much pressure. I got 5 sisters and 3 brothers.
What? Wow!
Now I know why you've not told the family.
Yeah.
They'll find out later.
Exposé has got a lot of flavours that could all be working against each other. We've got chilli in the potato puree. We've got lots of spices going through the duck rub. We've also got a very powerful chimichurri sauce that's got garlic and green chilli running through it. That's big flavours.
Soufflés are only difficult if it's not been practiced. I'm hoping Exposé has practiced this to a T and he knows exactly the timing he needs to get this right.
This dessert sounds stunning. It's ambitious, it's dangerous, it's scary, but why not?
Chefs, you have 15 minutes before the first course needs to be served.
There's a reason that restaurant critics prefer to book into restaurants anonymously, because often chefs go completely to pieces if they recognise that there's a critic in the room. So I feel for these chefs.
Over 2 courses, you want to see some variety. You want them to flex their kind of, flex their muscles, as it were. I'm looking forward to seeing what they've got in store for us.
I want to be fed, and I also want to be impressed. So a bit of cleverness is fine, as long as it really feeds the appetite.
Monty, you've got 8 minutes left.
Yeah.
Will that be all on time?
Definitely, yeah.
What's left to do, Monty?
I've just got to finish basting this fish. The mussels are in the sauce warming, and then we've just got to plate it up, really.
Nice.
Turbot overcooked is a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. All the other things that are with it, the barley, the mussels, charred leeks, they all sound lovely. They all make sense. But it's that piece of turbot in the middle. Will he do it justice?
That is how you cook fish. Dripping in butter. Looks fantastic.
We've got charred leeks and leek oil. Very appealing. I'm up for it.
Monty, what have you got left to do?
Just put the sauce into the boats, and then we're done.
Right, ready?
Yeah.
Off you go.
Smile.
Very much in control. Very professional. Good, very good.
Thank you.
So I've done a pan-fried turbot. We've got mussels, barley cooked in the mussel stock, some charred leeks, and just finished with a champagne sauce and leek oil.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thanks.
Thank you, Monty.
A really lovely-looking thing. I'm looking forward to eating this.
I really like that. Like that the mussel stock and flavour has been used to kind of anchor the whole thing.
There is no doubt that for Monty, butter is his friend. Therefore, I love Monty. It's a classical bit of French fish cookery. The fish is slightly over, just slightly, which is a shame. But I really like the barley risotto, the bite to it. And that cream sauce Give me a bowl full.
The turbot has been cooked beautifully. You can taste the butter running through it. It's beautiful and golden.
Lovely champagne sauce. He's got the mussel juice in there too. Fantastic.
Yeah, Monty? Yeah, feeling good.
So you got 15 minutes, so no problems with time?
No.
Good.
Brown butter sponge. 3 words that you absolutely love to see together. The chocolate-orange combination, if you get it right, is incredible and nostalgic.
The challenge will be to get the real balance between the chocolate notes and the sweetness of orange so that they harmonise together.
Right, you're gonna have to be quick now, Monty, before they slide off there. Keep them nice and level. Go on, Monty. Keep it steady.
He didn't need that on top.
Done brown butter sponge with chocolate cremo, with orange liqueur, orange ice cream, and just finished with crystallised orange zest on top.
That is really, really impressive. It's really clever the way those orange segments in the middle give it this kind of juiciness at the centre as well, and this kind of hit of freshness. It just works really well.
Monty understands flavour combinations. I particularly love that orange ice cream. Not overwhelming, it's just delicate and delicious.
It's very nicely done. It's extremely eatable. And he's got the balance exactly right. And the thing that really makes it is the really crunchy bits of crystallised peel. All the things he promised that would be there are there, and for that I'm very grateful.
Orange segments are lovely, works well with the chocolate flavour.
I think Monty's dessert is a bit of a letdown. The ice cream doesn't pack enough orange, just lacks flavour.
I'm absolutely knackered now. It's taken a few years off my life. Got my heart out today. Everything was for myself and everything worked out, so should be enough.
Right, Steve, you've got 5 minutes left.
Yep.
What do you got left to do?
Reheat the lamb, shaved asparagus ready.
So you're pretty much ready to go?
I think so. Famous last words.
Steve's giving us lamb, girolles, potato galette, asparagus with a wild garlic, anchovy and preserved lemon sauce. My goodness, he's got some big punchy flavours there.
Right, Steve, your time is up. You going to put anything on the plate?
Yes.
He's going to need a careful hand, I think. You'd hope that Steve's balanced it, he's worked on it before, he's confident about the fact that those flavours are going to boost rather than drown everything else.
All right, off you go. Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have lamb rump, asparagus, salsa verde style sauce with a preserved lemon and anchovy, some girolles, and a potato crisp.
Thank you. Thanks, Steve.
The asparagus are absolutely perfectly prepared, and those mushrooms are just gorgeous. The salsa verde, we were worried that the flavours would be competitive and overwhelming.
It's quite powerful, but I think the rest of it stands up to it quite nicely. I was really enjoying my lamb.
The lamb is perfectly seasoned, meltingly soft. It's just essence of springtime on a plate. I think it's really, really nice.
That's raw, and that is a crying shame. I think yours is better done. I'm afraid mine is undercooked.
The lamb's cooked nicely, it's beautiful and tender. The asparagus has got a lovely bite to it, it's not undercooked, it's not over.
Really like the salsa verde with the anchovy and the confit lemon zest going through it. Great ingredients, really nicely cooked.
Hi, Steve. You've got 5 minutes.
Yep.
All on time?
I think so.
He's set himself the challenge of making a chocolate mousse, an ice cream, and also honeycomb. All of them require real technical ability.
But this is the kind of thing I live in fear of on MasterChef The Professionals. Just a whole bunch of creamy things in a bowl with a bit of fresh fruit. I can stay home for that. It's going to have to be spectacular.
Honeycomb and then the ice cream, and then I'm done.
Ah, nice.
Come on, come on, come on. Off you go. It's not what I was expecting.
Thanks.
Thank you. So we've got macerated strawberries in balsamic vinegar, fresh strawberry sauce, chocolate mousse, stracciatella cheese ice cream, and honeycomb.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I really like what he's done with the strawberries. There's a mixture here of fresh strawberries and strawberries that have been very lightly macerated in balsamic vinegar, so you get that little bit of tartness. It works well.
Really, really good mousse. The consistency of it, the flavour of it was fantastic. Nicely matched with the sort of slightly faint, kind of almost more neutral ice cream with that sour edge.
So it's a nice mousse. I do actually like the chocolate mousse. I like the strawberries. The ice cream's texture is lovely. It could have done with being a little sweeter, I think.
I must say, it does taste a lot better than it looks. You've almost got a savoury flavour with the ice cream, the bitterness with the chocolate, the bitterness with the honeycomb.
It might not look good, but that was delicious.
That was tough. That was very tough. I wasn't entirely happy with everything, but I got there. It's all in their hands now, I guess.
Right, Adam.
Yep.
We've got a few minutes left. First course, where are we?
About 4 minutes off. 4-5.
I like the sound of Adam's starter. The cod's going to have to be cooked very precisely. If you just cook it a little bit too much, it can get mushy. And then the miso glaze, on a good day, there's nothing more delicious. Really bringing out the sweetness of the fish.
No! Come on, clean the table first.
Sorry, Chef.
Come on, Adam, your time is well and truly up now.
OK.
Come on, Adam.
Pickled cucumber is a good idea, because the miso makes it quite sweet. He's taking the time to smoke the mussels. It does actually make a lot of sense on the plate. I just hope he can do it.
One mussel each?
Yeah, it was going to be 2.
Are you feeling that pressure of the critics?
Definitely, definitely.
Are you done?
No,
Happy?
could be better.
Off you go.
Thank you.
That was pressure. That was not good to see.
Oh,
What a mess.
Hello.
Hi.
Let's put that there, mate. Ladies first.
Thank you very much.
So you've got a cod with a miso glaze, chive flowers, oyster leaf, smoked mussels, pickled cucumber, and lovage emulsion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
These are a few of my favourite things, but there are very few of them.
This is a very salty piece of fish, and it's overwhelming all the other rather more delicate ingredients.
The pickling was pretty good. I got a little bit of pickling from the cucumber. My fish was kind of just about flaking. I think he's cooked it pretty well, but I'm not getting a lot of miso.
There's one star on this plate, and that's that lovage emulsion. He's just balanced it beautifully, and it's a lovely, silky, light texture. That really is the saving grace of this plate, I would say.
I find the cod a little bit on the salty side. I do like the little cucumber sitting on the bottom of the plate. It's a little bit of freshness. I didn't get to taste the mussel because you had it. So you're gonna have to tell me what it was like.
The mussel, which I had, it was lovely and smoky with that butter that he put on it. It's just a shame there wasn't enough on it. I really like the flavours of this dish. It's just not enough on the plate. A real shame.
Adam, you got 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
Did you manage to pick up some time?
Yeah, definitely, Chef. I'm going to be on time with this one.
Good, 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 good.
Chicken sweetbread and truffle mousse is exactly the stuffing that the great Pierre Kaufmann used to put in a pig's trotter. A pig's trotter is, believe it or not, slightly easier to stuff than a lamb cutlet. It's going to be tough.
I've tried to cook Hasselback potatoes, and it's really difficult to do. When I did it, mine didn't fan out, and it was really just like a sort of little greasy potato.
Looking good. You all done?
I am, Chef. Ready to go.
And on time, well done.
Thank you.
Off you go.
Thank you.
So we've got lamb and crepiotte with petit pois à la française, Hasselback potato cooked in lamb fat, charred baby gem, and a little lamb / tomatoey sort of sauce. Hopefully I've done it justice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adam.
Enjoy.
Well, the peas and bacon in creamy sauce was nice. The rest of it is a bit more mixed.
The lamb is perfectly well cooked. Peas and lardon are pretty nice, and the tomato sauce also quite decent. I could see from looking at the Hasselback that it was even worse than the one that I once tried to cook that didn't work. It's just a greasy thing now.
He is completely undercooked, the stuffing. It's not a mousse. It seems to be rawly chopped sweetbreads. There's no truffle. He may be disappointed with his cooking. I'm bereft.
What a shame. It's clear to see the mousse isn't cooked. We can't taste that.
The problem with this dish is that it's just been rushed too much. You have to take your time. It's such a shame.
Whoa. Definitely could do a lot better. In that time frame, it's so difficult. Very stressful, but hey-o, can't do anything now.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna start plating up now.
Oh, that's...
Oh.
Have you just missed
Sorry,
me?
Chef.
Exose's dish sounds like an interesting balance between spice and sweet. I have a slight concern around a sweet potato fondant. Regular potato takes on butteriness and caramelizes. Sweet potato is a slightly tougher candidate to do that with.
Nice colours.
Thank you, Chef. I'm gonna carve my duck now.
It all comes down to one thing. Can he cook a duck breast? I've eaten a lot of duck breasts on MasterChef, which have gone over. They need to be properly rendered, crisp-skinned, and pink inside.
Happy?
I'm happy with that.
Right, come on, you. Let's speed up a little bit.
Yes, Chef.
Gotta get going.
I'm ready to go.
Good on you. Go, Exose.
What I've done for you today is a spiced duck breast. You got the sweet potato fondant, sweet potato crisp, and the sweet potato puree with a hint of chili. And you got the spinach yogurt, sautéed spinach, and the chimichurri.
Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency.
It's gorgeous. It's by far the prettiest plate of food that we've had today. I want to get stuck in.
This is one of the best duck dishes I've ever had in this room. It's absolutely exquisite. Really lovely spicing that he's brought to the skin. but doesn't mask at all the taste of the duck.
Really, really good. I think it's a showcase for his technical skill, but also in his kind of balance of flavours. Chimichurri has got some nice, bold, forceful heat to it, which I quite like. Crisps are lovely and thin and almost translucent and frizzled.
Perfect cooking of the duck breast. At last, praise be, the sweet potato fondant is the big, solid bit of something you need there, and it gives you something to mop through all the lovely sauces. I just think this is terrific.
The chimichurri sauce is not too heavy, it's not too hot and chilly, and it works a treat because it doesn't camouflage that lovely flavour of the beautifully cooked duck. It's a good job.
Great cooking from Exose. Now he is a chef who's starting to mean business. How was it?
That was really good. Now on for the dessert.
Exose's dessert is cherry souffle, sour cherry sauce, pistachio crumble, and a sheep's milk yoghurt sorbet. I really like the sound of that.
So souffle's in. How long are they going to take
The
to cook?
soufflés are going to take 6 to 7 minutes to cook, so I'm just going to get everything ready. Soufflé is the last thing that's going on, and then sending it.
On a menu in a restaurant, a cherry souffle with sour cherry sauce, I'd go, that's my dessert. And I hope in making that choice, I wouldn't be disappointed.
Exose, how's your souffle?
Soufflés are rising.
Well done, you.
Thank you, chef.
Well done.
Happy?
Thank you, chef. Yeah, happy with that.
They look great.
Thanks.
For your dessert, I've made you a cherry souffle with a pistachio crumble, sheep's milk yogurt sorbet, and a sour cherry sauce.
You have to be thinking this has been a good day at the office. It looks gorgeous.
Thank you.
This is extraordinary. It's kind of this amazing puff of air. It's kind of everything you want a souffle to be. The milk sorbet is just incredibly done as well. It kind of held together beautifully.
Just one sort of note that's missing for me, and that's the souffle could be a tiny bit sweeter. I think it's a personal preference rather than a fault in the dish, because it's pretty much faultless.
It's a beautiful cherry souffle that tastes of cherry. And then you put the sour cherry sauce on, it just sort of accentuates that flavour. It's all gorgeous.
He is cooking at a calibre and at a level that seems far beyond what you'd expect from someone of his age. Really, really exciting. Wow.
Absolutely exceptional. There's one thing you want from a souffle, is flavour. This is just packed full of it.
That has got to be the best dish today.
When I put the souffle down, I got told it looked amazing. It just means a lot. I feel great. Yeah.
Good day in the kitchen. I thought our chefs today performed exceptionally well.
Exose cooked with a smile on his face. The duck and the cherry souffle packed with such beautiful flavours.
Exose surpassed all my expectations today in so many different ways. Those two dishes really impressed our food critics, and it certainly impressed us too.
I think it's pretty obvious Exose is our chef going straight through. Monty cooked for us the beautiful turbot.
Plate was simple, it was minimalistic, and it packed lots of delicate flavour.
Monty's dessert was about a Christmas memory of chocolate and orange.
I felt that Monty's dessert just didn't reach the heights it could have done.
Steve cooked for us that lovely lamb rump, beautifully seasoned, tasty plate of food. The critics enjoyed Steve's lamb dish, and there were elements on his desserts that they also really liked.
I thought the star on the plate was the stracciatella ice cream. I thought it brought something neutral to the dish, and it sort of worked and played very well with the bitter chocolate and those lovely fresh strawberries.
It looked a bit rough, but boy, didn't he deliver on the flavours on this dessert.
Adam had a lot of work to get these two dishes done right.
Adam cooked for us the cod. I found the cod a bit salty, but couldn't taste the miso.
I love the idea of Adam's main course. It was a little step back in time to the great classics. It just didn't live up to the expectations I was hoping for. You had a tough day in the kitchen, Adam, and I think it really showed on the plates.
I've done what I can do and just pray. Pray to the MasterChef gods that I can get through.
I'd be so happy if I went through. So happy. It's just got to happen now. Fingers crossed.
Been a really tough day, but I really want to beat the final two, and it mean a lot right now. It's just considering the work that's gone into everything, just to keep going forward is really important.
Chefs, we ate very well, and we had some very happy critics in the room next door.
But we've only got 3 places left, and unfortunately, one of you's leaving the competition. The chef leaving us is... Adam.
Well done, boys. Well done. All the best, yeah. Well done. I wanted to go further. I think, obviously, you always want to go further, but I'm really happy I got this far. It's been a great experience all the way through, and the right people went through.
Completely ecstatic. It's great news. I didn't expect to come this far, and I'm really enjoying it so far.
I'm in the final 12. I didn't expect that when I was signing up for MasterChef. It's just unbelievable, and I'm amazed. I'm proud to get this far.
Final 12 is a big achievement. I mean, going to be some tough contenders coming up. I'm just going to fight my way through it. Hopefully I can get to the final 4.
Never did I think I'll make final 12.
Next time, the 12 best chefs from the heats return.
So a couple of these chefs got a huge amount of work that they've got to get through.
It's delicious, very skillful. Happy days.
You've been creative, you've been brave, and you've executed the dish really well.
Only the best can make it through to the semi-finals.
At the end of today, just 10 of you will remain.